thing about when I did the elimination last time, and I gave you these steps, I left one step out, right? It looked like that. And it said the step 1, you know, to be described in this lesson here today. Okay. So here's that step. It's not always the case that the variable terms are equal or opposite. So you can't necessarily add or subtract right away and cancel a variable. So if it's not already set up to cancel a variable, you need to take this step, multiply one or both of the equations so that you can create that situation where they are equal. If they're equal, you subtract. If they're opposites, then you add. Right? But the one thing is for sure, you never move on to this step here, step 2. You never add or subtract unless it's going to cancel something. Right? So sometimes we're going to have to add this step right here. So if you're writing that down, just don't write the whole page. It's that one step which was missed. Okay. Okay. So for example, in this one, if I added these up, it wouldn't cancel any variables. Now, could I multiply one of these equations by something and create -1? Where? Okay, if I multiply this one by -1, then I got -3x, positive 4y, -20. How does that help? What could I multiply by? Yeah, I mean, it looks like if you just multiply that one by 2, that now those would have opposite coefficients. Now, are you allowed to just multiply the top one by 2? Yeah, you are, as long as you multiply both sides of the equation by the same thing. That's this algebra, right? As long as you do the same thing to both sides, that's okay. So let me do that. Multiply the first one. Multiply the first one by 2. And that's going to give us 10x plus 4y equals 32. And the bottom one we'll leave alone. 3x minus 4y equals 40. No, equals 20, sorry. So when you do that, that's called an equivalent system, right? It means that it would have the same solution. Each line would still be the same line. Multiplying both sides by the same thing doesn't change the actual graph of the line. So that's called an equivalent system. Okay, now, equivalent. Now, can I add? Can I move on to the second step?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they have opposites 4y and negative 4y. So we've set it up right. So we add them up. And we're going to get 13x equals 52. Right, divide by 13, x equals 4. Try it. 52 divided by 13. Okay, so then, yeah. Yeah. We're trying to get one of the variables so that when we add or subtract the equations, it'll cancel. In this case, it's just pretty obvious. It should have been a little bit obvious that it would be the y. Okay, now the question is, where do I go for the second variable? Do I go here or do I go here? It doesn't matter. You know, it doesn't matter. You go anywhere you want. Usually these are, you know, smaller numbers because you haven't multiplied by anything yet. So you might want to try here. How about if I'll try the 5x plus 2y, since everything's positive? 5x, 5 times 4 plus 2 times y equals 16. 20 plus 2y equals 16. So 2y equals negative 4, y equals negative 2. Okay, how about this one? Which variables are going to cancel, or are the ones that we probably should make canceled? The x's? By doing what? Yeah, I mean, you multiply this with the difference, and we get onto this in the next couple slides, but, if you want to make the y's cancel here, you can't just multiply by one number, right? Because 3 is not a factor, is not a 3 is not a factor of 5, so I can't just multiply 3 and get 5. I could multiply this one by 5 and this one by 3, and that would make them 15 and 15, right? But this is where actually, if you can only take one step, it's probably better than having to take 2 steps. So these are definitely, since 6 has 2 as a factor, that means I can just multiply this one by 3 and get 6. So better to multiply just one equation. So here we go. Six x plus 5y equals 19 doesn't change. And 6x plus 9y equals 15. Does that look right? So we're trying to make these the same, right? So I don't need to multiply this by anything. I need to multiply that one by 3. Okay. You could do either one. If I'm going to do this, I'm going to have to multiply both equations by something. To do the x's, I just need to multiply this one. But you can do either one. In the end, it's your choice. Yeah. Okay, now, you can do either one. Because it was a different problem. What's 3 times 2? What's 3 times 2? Okay, so by doing that, I'm making these variable terms the same, right? Now, I could choose to do it different. Like say, wait a couple slides when we do the more complicated problems, and you could choose to make these cancel. That's your choice, right? But because these have that relationship where you can actually just multiply this one by one number and get that, makes it a little easier. Okay, now what am I going to do to cancel the variables there? Add or subtract? So subtract 6x. Subtract the whole equation. So 6x minus 6x cancel. 5y minus 9y, negative 4y. 19 minus 15, 4. So y equals negative 1. Okay, now we got to go somewhere to find the x. It doesn't matter. Like I say, you got 4 possibilities, but I'm going to take this equation right here, this 2x plus 3y equals 5. 2x plus 3 times negative 1 equals 5. 2x minus 3 equals 5. 2x equals 8. So the answer is 4, negative 1. So try to do that one. Which one did you multiply? The bottom one by what? By 3. Right, so that's going to give our equivalent system. It'll be 6x minus 2y is 1. That one didn't change. And negative 6x plus 9y equals negative 15. Okay, now are they all set up so we can cancel a variable? What should I do, add or subtract? Add or subtract? Add. So I'm going to get 7y is negative 14. So y is negative 2. Right, and then you got to pick one of these two equations. I'll pick this one here. 6x minus 2 times negative 2 equals 1. 6x plus 4 equals 1. Subtract 4. Divide by 6. So the point is negative 1/2, comma, negative 2. I'm going to skip that one. Okay, now we get to the what if like this, there's not just, I can't just multiply one equation by one number and make it equal or opposite to the other equation. Like here, you're going to have to make a choice. And again, you could make different choices. Some people may say, I'd rather make these cancel. Some people may want to make those cancel. It's up to you. Which one do you want to try this time? Who wants to cancel the y's? Who wants to cancel the x's? Who wants the y's? So what would I have to multiply by these two so that I make the y's either equal or opposite? So the top one by 2 and the bottom one by 5. Okay, well that'll give you 10y and 10y. That'll work. What if you wanted to do the x's? What would you multiply by? How about positive 3 and positive 4? Right? And then they'd be opposites and you can add them and cancel. So it does not matter which one you want to go with. You know, personally, I'd probably do the x's because I'd rather add than subtract any day of the week. So let me do that one. So I'm going to multiply the top one by 3 and the bottom one by 4. And I'm going to get an equivalent system, which is 12x plus 15y equals 105. Negative 12x plus 8y equals negative 36. Okay, now they're all set up so that if we add, we should cancel the x's. So we do that. We're going to get 23y equals, what's 105 minus 36? Somebody with a calculator? 69? Divide by 23. What's 69 divided by 23? 3. It actually works out. That really tells you you're probably on track. Okay, now we just got to go back to one of the original equations probably to find the x. How about I'll take this one here because I like all the positives. 4x plus 5 times 3 equals 35. 4x plus 15 equals 35. Subtract 15. 4x equals 20. Divide by 4, x equals 5. So the point is 5, 3. Right. Sometimes when you teach this stuff, I've taught out of other books before where actually if you're going to be multiplying by numbers, that you like always make it an add situation. So even if I wanted to make the y's cancel, I would multiply maybe the top one by 2, but the bottom one by negative 5, so that I actually always create opposites. But you don't have to. I mean, I kind of like this better. I mean, you have a choice what to multiply by, whether or not you use addition or subtraction to cancel the variable. It's up to you what you want to do. So in order to make this faster, try that one. And you could choose to make the x's or the y's. It's up to you. So which one do you want to cancel? The x's? If I cancel the x's, what am I going to multiply this by? The top one by 5 and the bottom one by 3. That'll work. So we've got 15x minus 35y equals 25. And then negative 15x, what's that? Oh, it's paused. Sorry. Negative 15x plus 27y equals 15. Okay, so this, now it looks like if we add, we'll cancel the x's. So we do that. Negative 35 plus 27, negative 8y equals 40. So what does y equal? Negative 5. Okay, now we'll solve for the other variable. Subtract 35, divide by 3. So the answer is negative 10, negative 5. Okay. I'm going to skip over that and just say that's homework. But we're going to skip 37.